I am curious how excited you are that you don't have to go through a whole season of Pay Devers questions and chants and all that. how excited are you the second you guys finalize that you don't have to deal with that again? Because I got to be honest, we talked about it a lot leading up to that contract. A lot of us were not get the obvious worries aside of, is this guy actually going to be here long term? I just didn't want to have to go through, and a lot of other fans, of course, as well. Oh, Pay Devers and like what are they doing and this, that, the other thing, because those questions, as you're well aware of better than I am, it's just a cloud. It's a black cloud over the team, and I think it just sucks for the team and the players that are under contract that are like, God, this is really annoying. We could have a walk-off win, and it's like Pay Devers is all the comments. So I am curious from your perspective of, how much of a relief was that to get that deal done? And how exciting is it that you don't have to deal with kind of similar stuff that you had to go through with Bogey last year?
Yeah, it was a hugely important moment for the franchise. And, locking in Rafael Devers long-term, securing his future with the Red Sox was a priority has been a priority for a long, long time. Credit to Chaim Bloom and BOH and Eddie Romero and Raquel and everyone that chipped in to get it done. But really, the credit goes also to ownership. I mean, they put us in a position to make a deal like that. We all know that these deals are hard when you're approaching free agency. Just by nature, as a player, you work so hard for that right and to get to free agency. So the deals, these types of extensions are rare at that time. Typically guys end up going to free agency. So really important to sort of take that off the table. We're excited to have the player. And really, I'm happy for our fans. And I say this all the time. I mean, I would be a terrible general manager or chief baseball officer. I don't envy Chaim Bloom and the team in baseball ops. I don't envy people that make player decisions all day long, because as the CEO of the team, my job is to think big picture, what's in the best interest of the organization, short term and long term. But I like others, and maybe it is because I grew up here, I fall in love with our players, whether it's Dustin Pedroia or David Ortiz or Pedro Martinez and John Lester. And a lot of times in my career here, we haven't lined up on long-term deals, unfortunately. Sometimes we have. But what I do know is that our baseball ops department, whoever has been in charge in our 21 years here, has always tried to balance the short term and the long term. And that is a really hard thing to do. You want to win as many World Series championships as possible. In order to do that, sometimes you got to make really hard short-term decisions. And John, Tom, and I and our whole ownership group have tried to balance the short term and the long term, but it's really hard. So glad the Rafi thing is behind us. I think he's relieved. If anything, I spent a lot of time with him when he was in town, spent a lot of time with him in Springfield at winter weekend. I think he's relieved. I think the players are relieved, and now we can focus on the job at hand.
Speaking of Devers, I got to ask what happened with the fall at the press conference, Sam, because you fall down. I mean, Devers saves the day as he does all the time, so that wasn't surprising. But what happened there?
I wish I could say it's the first time I've ever fallen down on a stage, but I actually was in a middle school play, a production of Guys and Dolls, believe it or not. I think I was in fifth grade. It was much worse. I actually fell, took a header. So I was actually trying to get over. I actually wasn't trying to get to Devers. I was actually trying to get over to Chris Corris, who's CEO of Rep One, who was heavily involved in our negotiations and made the deal. I was trying to go shake his hand. And the back, the riser, there was risers that came in and a drape that was behind it. And I didn't realize that the riser ended. So I tried to sidestep Chaim and Tom Werner and to get around him. And I didn't realize I was stepping off the stage. So as I was about to fall down, I saw Rafi and grabbed him. And of course, he saved the day. But typical me to make a misstep like that. Very, very embarrassing. But my kids weren't surprised. I can tell you that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a funny clip. It's a funny clip. I mean, sometimes you just got to laugh at yourself. Yeah, I fell over, whatever. It is what it is.
Well, it's funny because a few friends of mine, that saw it were like, you could have really hurt yourself.
Oh, that could have ended poorly. No, I know we can laugh now, but like that actually could have gone very bad.
Very bad. Very
And then
bad.
that becomes the story. It's like, oh, they extend Devers, but Kennedy's got a broken arm. You know,
Yeah,
he's
I don't think anybody, no one cares about me, thankfully. They care about Rafi.